One of the things I like about One Rental at a Time is as the brand and the story grows, I get to meet other very interesting folks who have great stories. And got the opportunity to, Andy reached out to me and I liked what he's doing on Instagram and the like. So I thought we should get something going. He's actually driving now, so we're going to ask him to be very, very careful. But I thought we'd give this a shot. Andy, how you doing?
Doing pretty good. How you doing?
Doing well. Why don't you introduce yourself, Andy, to the audience, what you do, where you're at in the country, and we'll just start talking about real estate.
Okay, well, I'm down here in Florida, the Tampa Bay area. And what I do is I teach people how to build homes using credit cards. So I build homes like from the ground up. Like, I started out doing wholesaling. And then I was wholesaling, that lasted for a little while. But then the money wasn't there no more. So it wasn't a good spread in between. So after that, I just started doing fix and flips. I did fix and flip for a little while. Then in 2020, that's when I started doing building. And then it was hard for me to get like bank loans because, I had a record. I've been to prison and everything. So I couldn't get no bank loans from the bank. So I figured the best way for me would be to start doing the credit cards. It was easier to get a credit card than it was trying to get money from a bank. Because with the credit card, all you got to do is just have a good credit report, and then you can go ahead and get high limit credit cards. So basically, that's why I came up with the idea of just building using credit cards because it was easier to get those. So I got, the first time I got like around 100,000 worth of credit cards, and I was just taking the money off of those and using that money to start building. And then when I got like to my foundation, I had my hard money lender come in and give me the rest of the money to finish the project. So that's basically how I started my first project. Then when I sold it, I made like 127,000 on that first one. And then after that, I didn't even look back no more. It's just like I didn't want to do no more wholesaling, no more fix and flips. I'm just sticking with new construction.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so let's talk this down because some people are hearing this now thinking put 100 grand on credit cards just freaks them out. Debt like that for a lot of folks. Dave Ramsey's probably rolling over in his grave.
Right.
So let's set it up. So you find an infill lot in the city. So it's not like rural, I'm guessing, but city lot, I'm guessing.
Yes, we find city lots right in the neighborhood, and then we buy the lot. Okay. And then after we purchase the lot, we just start the whole process of getting it permitted, getting an architect, get it drawn up, and get a GC. Well, we have GC put a permit for us. We don't have the GC do the whole build. So basically, the GC will just put a permit, and he'll just put in the inspections, and we just pay him for that. But we find our own subcontractors.
Yeah, makes sense. So kind of walk us through it because a lot of people don't really understand ground up development, right? So you find a city lot, then go from there, right? So do you buy the lot on the credit card, or you use cash for the lot?
Some of my students now they're buying buying the lots with a credit card. So basically, the hard money lender will give you 50% of the land price. So basically, what we do is we have them. Okay, for instance, I got one that bought a lot for like 85,000. So basically, the hard money lender gave her 55,000, and they had to come up with the other 30,000. So basically, we took it off a credit card. We just wired it off a credit card to the title company for that. And then it's going to take her like another 30,000 off of those cards to get her to the foundation to where the hard money lender get her the rest of the money to finish the project. So basically, she'll be in around about 55,000 off of credit cards, and then the rest of it will be funded by the hard money lender.
So walk people through the timeline, right? Because that's 55 or whatever, $60,000, high interest rates today. So you buy it, close it, get a foundation in. Is that traditionally like 60 days or 90 days? I have no idea. Sorry.
You're saying once we start building? Once we start once we buy the lot?
Yeah, so once she closes on the lot, your student, yourself,
right.
How long from closing on the lot till the foundation is in so she can go to the hard money lender? Are we talking weeks, months? What are we talking?
We're talking months. We're probably talking like, it take like 4 to 5 months. It takes about 2 to 3 months to get the permit and the drawing done.
Yeah. All right.
And
So there's
then
a
once you start
process.
digging in the ground, it may take you like right. So
Okay.
once you start digging in the ground, it may take you like a month or two to get to the foundation, and then that's when the hard money lender come in.
All right.
Again.
So well, let's just say we're 5 months into this. You're
Right.
obviously probably paying minimum payments on the credit card. I'm guessing. I'm guessing.
Yeah. We get like
Um,
business credit cards. Like we try to get the one with 0% interest.
oh, that makes sense. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. So like 6 months, 0% or whatever on the business
Right.
line.
Some gonna be six
So,
months, some gonna be 12 months.
okay. Nice. I didn't know. That's awesome. So then so 5 months in, we get the foundation laid. Then we go to the hard money lender. The hard money lender says, I'll use that as collateral. They'll give you the rest of the money for the construction.
Right.
Okay.
So basically,
And
you don't
then,
give it to you in draws. You get like four
yeah.
draws. So the first draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andy. Sorry.
No, yeah, basically like the first draw, you're gonna use that. The like okay, for instance, we be getting like around about 150 to 200,000. So the first
Mhm.
draw they might give us 50,000, and then once we get to a certain amount of work done, that's when we get the second draw. Then the same thing keep going on until you get the final draw.
Sure. Okay. All right. So now, so again, it took us about 5 months to go from lot purchase to foundation in the ground. I've never done ground out development, so I have no idea. How long does it take to complete it from there, right? The framing, insulate, all of that. Are we talking 2 or 3 months from there? Or I have no idea.
From there, used to be like another 3 to 4 months.
So from
So from
buying
there,
the lot to done, you're about 9 months.
yeah, it could be about 9 to 10 months.
Okay. All right. And then the goal at the end of 10 months in the what you follow is to sell it, right? Because then that's where you cash the check. That's where you pay all the debt back.
We sell like our first ones, like the
Okay.
first two. The people may sell so they can have money, they can have income coming in. But after that, the whole goal is to start keeping them, refi it, pay everybody back,
Ah,
and then just go ahead and just create cash flow. We like trying to build wealth and trying to build a legacy for our family. So the first one or two you may sell, but after that, we're trying to keep everything just so we could build a legacy.
there you go. So now we're talking the same language because again, you only get wealthy by owning assets,
Right,
right? Right. Everything else is just a job by a different name.
right.
All right. So at least today, you're probably doing about an 80% LTV, assuming you want to keep it. That's where banks are at today, I
Right.
think. Okay.
So just
So
like for instance, I got one that I just finished. Like I'm all
okay.
in. I bought the lot for 45,000. I built it for like 130.
Okay.
So I'm all in like under 200K. But the house sell for like 450.
Ah,
So
okay.
if I was to go when I go do my refi, you can take out up to 75% or 80%. So if I get, for instance, 75% to make the numbers easy, that's
Yeah.
like 300,000 I could take out. So I take out that 300, and I'm all in a little bit under 200. So I could pocket 100,000 right there, and still have over 100,000 in equity.
Yeah. There you
That's
go.
the whole goal of doing the way we do it.
There you go.
It's like
That's
you
good.
taking out instant money, and plus you have cash flow, and you got equity. So it's like
Yeah.
if you do that, 10 times, like
Yeah.
you don't have to work no more.
Yeah. So I do want to ask this question to see if because so far we're in agreement or, kind of the same idea. But let's say you're going to take that 300K out of that 400K house. You're going to potentially pocket 100 grand. But let's just say, for example, that's negative cash flow. Let's say in order to break even, you can't take 300. You can only take 250. What does Andy do there? Do you take the full 300 because you can, or do you take the 250 to make sure you have cash flow? I'm just curious where you're at on that.
With me, I don't. I want to have cash flow, but what we do with ours, we don't just rent to a regular tenant. We do Airbnb. We do short-term rentals.
Okay.
That way, we get way more than what you'll get from a rental. We won't get two, three times the rent. So me, what I do is I do either Airbnb or I do traveling nurses. I do something like get the house and rent out the rooms to like pilots or something. I'm gonna find some creative way to get more income than I would from a tenant.
Okay. I like it. And remind me again, what city are you in?
I'm in St. Petersburg, right by Tampa in Florida.
Right. That's awesome. Okay. All right. Um, so where do people fall down in this strategy? Because again, this makes sense. There's obviously some risk up front you got to be comfortable with taking.
Right.
Um, where do people break down? Because obviously you've done this a couple of times, you're helping people do it, but you probably see some people get started and then fail. Where are those failure points?
A lot of people fail before they get started. They fail by not believing
Ain't
that they
that
could
the
do it.
truth? Ain't that the truth?
They fail by thinking that, we can't do it. Like it's too hard. Like it ain't. They can't do it. They don't believe the process. And then, like you say, a lot of people are scared of that credit aspect too. To feel that like they're in 100K in debt, not knowing it's good debt and bad debt. It's two different kinds of debt. So a lot of people feel like, oh, I don't want to be owing nobody no money.
Mm.
But you don't know, like if you ain't owing no money, you ain't gonna never level up or get to the next level. Because everybody who, got money in the world not using their own money.
Mm.
They're using other people's money to get money.
Yeah,
So a
yeah,
lot of people don't have that mindset yet. So they get stuck right there before they even
yeah.
get into it. They get stuck there or they just get stuck believing that they can't do it.
Tell me about the construction process, because again, I've already admitted once, and I'll admit again here, that's an area that I've never done ground up. In fact, my only experience with any of that is trying to build an ADU, which has been a total clusterfuck. Um, I would guess a lot of people get stuck kind of envisioning taking raw dirt and 9 months later there's a house. Like they don't understand the process of doing that. Is that reasonable?
Yeah, it's that's what we created at the boot camp. We have a 40-step process that I give them. Like I show them like every step of the way. It's like 40 different steps that I take, and I get them like each step. Like basically, buying first before you buy the lot, you're going down to the city, to the zoning department, and making sure the lot is buildable. Then
There you
once you
go.
buy then after you get it buildable, you want to make sure that you got a city sewer and the city water around. Like if you in a area that's not in the neighborhood, like where they got trailer parks and trailers and stuff, then you may find an area you may need septic tanks or wells. So a lot of people don't know that to look for that. So basically, we break down like all the way from that, all the way to finding your architect, your engineer, and then like even when you start digging in the ground, like you gotta before you start digging in the ground, you gotta call 811 and have them come out and mark everything that's underground so you don't hit nothing.
Yeah.
Because if you hit something
Yeah.
down there, that's $10 fine,
Yeah.
easy.
You don't want to do that. That's bad.
Right. So it's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't know if you don't know the process.
Yeah. So
And
yeah,
like we
just
give them the whole 40 steps of everything to do. Basically, I'm telling them everything, what I'm paying for everything, and just basically the whole nine. Then we also give them like an architect, an engineer, a
yeah.
GC, and a hard money lender at the boot camp, so they get them the people to start with. So definitely, if they doing it in Florida, they got the whole connection to start the process. But if they
Yeah,
doing it somewhere else, they could use the hard money lender to cause he funded in all states.
there you go. So it's really interesting because again, a lot of folks are getting started. They don't have money, but a lot of people that follow one rental at a time, they have capital, they have cash.
Right,
So if they were going to get into something like this, they would need what they need to buy the lot. So whatever the lot costs in their city, their state, whatever that is, if they have the
right,
cash, fine. Then they have to have the cash to get to the foundation. Then
right.
the hard money lender comes in, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay. All right. And then it's just that 40 steps to, that you have in your boot camp and whatnot. So um,
right.
that makes sense. So uh, in your market in Florida, what is the spread, right? Because so you can build ground up for 60% of what you could
I
buy
build,
a home today,
I build at
70%.
like $100 a square foot.
And forgive me, I don't know what houses sell for in your area. Are they 150 a
They
square
sell it
foot?
around about 250 to 300 square
Oh
foot.
my goodness. Okay.
So
Wow.
like, well, when I get through the whole house, I'm building it for 150. That's without the lot.
Okay, so
That's just the
150 plus
build.
the lot. Okay, got it. All
Right.
right.
And the
Okay.
average lot now is costing like between 75 to 100,000.
So what were they costing 2 years ago? Were lots cheaper 2 years ago?
Way cheaper. Lots was like 30, 40,000.
I'm seeing that too. They were crazy cheap 2 years ago, and everybody's like, "Hey, I need some of that." Yeah, it's
Right.
kind of wild.
That,
All right.
they don't double it in price.
That's what happens when people find a way to make money like yourself, man. More money,
Right.
makes more problems, I guess.
But a lot of people think it's gonna go down, but it's gonna keep getting higher and higher because it's less land coming about. So why would it get cheaper?
Yeah, the infill lots are tough, man. That's tough. Yeah.
But, yeah.
So what this is exciting stuff. Again, I've never run the math on doing ground up development. I do like that certainly if you could build it for that kind of cost variable, you got plenty of cushion and you're creating an LTV. So are you exiting into like conventional financing? Like 30-year fixed?
Yeah, like when we refi.
Yeah, yeah, at the exit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. When we refi for 30-year fixed mortgages.
Yeah, you don't like it. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that. I hate adjustable rate mortgages. Sounds risky.
Right. Yeah, pretty risky. Yeah. And you'll never know what to expect. You don't know when it's gonna change.
Yeah, exactly. So again, we started this conversation with you saying, "Hey, you spent some time in jail. You found an opportunity. You couldn't get money, but you found a way around this." Did you always have that mindset? Because that getting started is often the hardest part.
The mindset of getting started building, like
Yeah, it's just like
I,
you're
I
gonna
didn't-
make it happen. You're just gonna make it happen. You're gonna find a way to make it happen.
yeah, I did that. I always been like a hustler. Like
Right.
when I started in school in 7th grade, I was selling candy. So
Ah,
it's like I went from selling candy to school. I went to selling drugs. Then I went to prison. And I got out of prison. I went to like selling CDs, selling clothes. Then I went to painting cars. Then I went to real estate. So it's like I always like had something going on to where I was like creating money for myself.
okay.
But being like building houses, that is nothing I never thought I'd ever do. It's just something that I seen opportunity. I just seen that, one thing about me, if I want to do something, I'm gonna just go out and do it. Like I'm gonna
Right.
make it, figure it out till it works. Like I'm
There you
not
go.
gonna, just get stuck on something and then quit. I'm gonna just make it work. And that's like what I did. It was a
Yeah.
way for me to get more money. I still wanted to be in the real estate. I just needed another way to get more money doing it. So I
Hmm.
figured that's like the top tier. Like most investors want to know how to develop. Like most everybody that's in real estate, the goal is to learn how to develop it. So that's like being like kind of like at the top tier. So it's like that's what I want to do. I've been to the bottom when I was wholesaling. I was in the middle when I was flipping. So I say that the next stage is to start building. And now my next stage from now is to start doing like apartments, townhomes, and subdivisions. So that's in the next couple of years. That's where my head is at now. It's like I don't want to buy no
Wow.
more single family lots. I'm buying
Okay.
all acres, buying acres
Okay.
and create.
Wow. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. So, if somebody wanted to follow you or reach out and see what Andy's all about, how would they do that? Where do we want to send them?
Instagram is where I'm at. I'm focused more on Instagram,
Okay.
but I also have like TikTok and YouTube too. But
All right.
mostly Andy by Houses on Instagram, and it's the same for all three Andy by Houses.
Andy Buy Houses is where you go on Instagram. All that. Ask them some questions. I'm sure lots of the audience has questions. But this is pretty exciting stuff. I've never done ground up development. Never. I have bought vacant lots, but I bought them and sold them. It was just flipping lots. So this is fun to see, man. And you're going bigger. You're going to apartments and townhomes and things next,
Yeah,
buying acres, not little ones.
and it's addictive. If you ever do one, like you're not gonna want to do nothing else.
Yeah,
It's
kind of
like a
wrapping up.
drug.
So, Andy, what do you do in all this? I'm getting the feeling you don't swing hammers or paint. You're like the orchestrator. You're the guy managing all the subs and projects. That's what you do.
Yeah, all I do is work off the phone. I don't have
Yeah.
to do nothing. I just call everybody and let them know, okay, I'm done with this. Now I need this done. Like I just call the workers and get them lined up to go do the work.
There you go. And that's why the 40-step process you put out probably is very helpful because it is just a step process, I'm guessing.
Right. Yeah, it is a step. Everybody come after the next phase is done. That's just kind of like with rehab. If you do a rehab, like you got an electrician there, as the electrician, you're gonna have the HVAC guy, the plumber, everybody come in, at that time. It's the same thing with new construction. And
Yeah.
the good thing about new construction is like that's different from rehab is they don't get paid. They get paid after the inspection pass.
Right.
So and when you're doing rehab, they want money up front. They want money right. They want money with a day they leave, how they got to pay their workers, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But you're doing new construction, is like it's totally different. That's just like today I had somebody come do my soffit and facial on one of my houses.
Yeah.
That was $2,400 job. They didn't ask me nothing about no money. They don't ask about money until they done.
There you go.
But if that was a job of doing a flip or a rehab or something, they would have wanted money to buy the materials or all
Yeah.
type of stuff like that.
That's funny.
the,
Yeah.
the different type of workers we deal with, like they kind of like front the cost of it until the
Yeah.
job done, and then you get paid them back on the back end.
There you go. Yeah, this has been a lot
So
of fun. Thank you for doing this while you were driving. I know it came together quick, but again, folks, go check out Andy Buys Houses if you want to understand ground up development. He is the guy doing it. I am not. So give him a follow. Tell him hi from One Rental at a Time. Andy, you have a great day, man. Drive safe.
all right, you too, and we
Thank
can
you.
whenever you want, we can do it again when I'm mobile. When I'm not mobile,
Yeah, maybe one day we'll do it when you're on a job site or something. That might be fun.
that'd be good. I'm on a job site every day. Just let me know. I ride
You
through every day.
you got it, man.
I
Take care of
might
yourself.
do it for one of my students. Job site.
There, there you go.